Thursday. It's Mother's Day in the UK. I know that Mother's Day is later if you live in Australia or in America, Canada. But we have Mother's Day today. And obviously, it's not the same day every year, it moves around. But 15 years ago, my mum died on Mother's Day. She had a massive heart attack and died here in our home. And she'd come down for the weekend. I brought her down. My brother had come to collect her to take her back home. We'd had a lovely meal. She went upstairs to the bathroom and she fell from the top of the stairs after having a massive heart attack. And so Mother's Day has not really been that wonderful a day for me personally and for my brother Mark since then. And every time we see the adverts, or buy your mum a card, buy your mum some flowers, get her some chocolates for Mother's Day, it's got a bitter taste in our mouths, because it's not something that we want to be reminded of, that the actual day when everybody else is celebrating Mother's Day is the day that everybody's celebrating their mums. We haven't got one. Our mum's in heaven. And it is a very harsh thing, isn't it, to have to contend with, as you can imagine. Anyway, 15 years have passed since that day. It only seems like yesterday to me. And there are today, on this Mother's Day, lots of different people who are celebrating Mother's Day in a very different way, probably like, if you can call it celebrating, the way me and Mark have done, staying away from mum, not seeing mum on the most special day of the year, when everyone is remembering how wonderful it is to have a mum. You're also away from your mums, and that might be something that you're sad about. And I guess I would be if I couldn't see my mum today and she was with us. But the thing is, the reason that I wanted to speak about it today is that you are much more fortunate than those of us who don't have a mum. If your mum's still with us, and I'm very fortunate to have a lovely mother-in-law. Not many people can say that, can they? It used to be one of the music hall comedy routines, wasn't it, about the mother-in-law? I've got the best mother-in-law in the world. Oh yeah, what's that? She lives in New Zealand. It's like 13,000 miles away. The mother-in-law will be coming around for Christmas, for Christmas dinner. She does every year. We're going to have a change this year. We're going to let her in. So mother-in-laws have been the butt of many jokes, and all I would say about my mother-in-law is I've only ever had one argument with her, and she was right and I was wrong, and I admitted it to her as soon as I found out, where I hadn't had all the full information. So I've been very, very fortunate in having a lovely mother-in-law, and I had another mum, Tony's mum. She adopted me when my mum died. She actually spoke to my mum when she was very ill with a flu about 3 months before she died. And Tony's mum, Tony Moore, who is the impresario at the Bedford in Balham, and has helped many musicians on their way to stardom. She became my adopted mum, and I've not really spoken to her. She's been in hospital recently as Tony's mum. So get well soon, Tony's mum, and wonderful to have an amazing mother-in-law. But today might be, not definitely, but could be, hi there Terry, could be a wonderful day in our family, because my youngest daughter, she was induced on Thursday. She's had gestational diabetes, and so they've started her off early. The expected date was the 2nd of April, and she may have our latest grandchild. Hi there, Wendy. She may give birth to our latest grandchild, our newest grandchild, our grandson, today on Mother's Day. That would be wonderful if that happened today, but it might not. But that's what we're thinking, full circle from being a very sad day to being a very happy day, or at least if it's not today, very soon after, to have a very happy day to remember. Not when we lost somebody, but when we had a new addition to the family. So keep you informed on that. So yeah, we're just being together in the house here. We had a visit from our eldest son yesterday and our granddaughter, and we're being told to social distance. But I wanted to say today, let's change that phrase. Let's not call it social distancing. Let's call it physical distancing, because we need to stay apart physically, but not socially. And isn't it wonderful? I've just been thinking today about Facebook and how when the news is being told, they're going all over, the British media is going all over the world, finding out what's happening in Italy. And I think of Marco Schnabel, who's living in Rome now, who was in the UK and was a client of mine. I think about Marco. How's Marco getting on? How's his family? And then they were talking about New York. They were talking specifically of New Jersey. And I was thinking of my friend Donna, my very first internet friend. Says Wendy. So I'm thinking there of Donna Taylor in New Jersey. And I'm thinking about my friend Jeff G in Washington. I know that's one of the another hotspot in America, along with New York. That we have a great number of people suffering in Washington State in America. So I think of Jeff G, who's also a client of mine, and Tanya down in Sydney. I wonder how things are going for Tanya. There's just so many people across the world that I could name. I could name names. I'm not. I don't want to leave anybody out. I already haven't I, by mentioning the names I have done. But when when people are on the news talking about different places on the planet, because of Facebook, I have connections with those places. In fact, I think it's Melbourne in Australia that I have more followers on my facebook.com/APS57. That's my initials and the year of my birth. Facebook.com /APS57. More followers, more likers of that page in Melbourne, in Australia, than I have in Sheffield or anywhere else in the world for that matter, or Bradford, which is a bit crazy. I walk down the street here in Sheffield, in Hackenthorpe, where I live, and nobody knows me. But if I walk through Melbourne, maybe gee, it's that Andrew Paul Smith. Maybe they'd do that. I don't know. So let's be physically distancing, not socially distancing. So today, whether you've got a mum alive and with you, or whether your mum's in heaven like mine, I think it'd be a great day to reach out and touch the lives of as many people as you can, either by an email or by a video call, because you can use Facebook for that, and message them, inbox them, comment on their posts today, because today is a day of physical distancing from those that we love, but not a day of social distancing. This is not what it's all about. Social distancing is when we don't talk to people, and we don't interact with people. We can still do that through the internet, and I'd love for that to be my message today, that you get out there, and that you, on the internet, I'm talking, get out there on the internet and connect with as many people as possible, especially your mum, if she's still here, if she's in heaven. Hi there, Dariwa. I can't say your name. Dare Hour, is it? Okay. Happy Mother's Day to you in the UK here. But use today to be not physically contacting, but socially contacting through Facebook and other media that you have at your disposal. Let's not feel alone, even though we are physically distancing ourselves. Let's not be socially distancing ourselves. So God bless you, love and light to you. Namaste.